Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My name is Tim. Previous video, I painted my console, but I also need to do a little bit of work on my dash. I've got a couple of tears in there that I'm worried about. I don't want them to get worse. And I've got a kit that I'm going to try out and see if it works out. And I'm going to see if I can also paint my gauge cluster. So let's get to it. Okay, on my dash pad, I've got two little tears. And I'm going to try the 3M leather and vinyl repair kit. See how it goes. I don't have huge high hopes for it, only because these do sort of stick up a little bit. But hopefully maybe with the glue and the black coloring, we can at least make it go away a little bit. We'll see. Okay, so the kit comes with colors. Black is pretty much all I'm going to need. It's got the adhesive. It's got a little spatula that you can use to apply the adhesive. And this is pretty cool. This is a piece that you get warmed up. You can use a hair dryer, heat gun, whatever you think, are an iron maybe even, and warm this up. And then it's got these green texture papers. So what you do is you apply the glue. You can cut a little bit of these pieces off. If you have like a larger tear, you cut a little piece off, and you'd maybe slide it in there. Again, I'm not going to really have to do that, but then what you can do is with the green texture paper, you can, after you've sort of put on your glue, let it dry, you put on the paint, let it dry, you can put the green paper on there, and it matches. See how it has sort of a pattern to it? You put that on there and it will match the grain that's in the dash pad itself. So that way it's not just the smooth black section. It will have, you'll put this on and you'll get this warm, and then you'll stamp it down and it applies that pattern to the paint. I think that's really cool. Okay, so again, I don't have to apply any of the grain pattern because I don't have a wide one. It's just this tear. So I'm going to apply the adhesive now, and then I have to let it sit for 4 hours. I'm going to use the spatula to apply it down in, and it says it will create a void, so hopefully that's the case. And then when because it shrinks up, and hopefully that will allow me to then add the paint, and it will look good. All right, just need to clean that off. Again, these aren't really bad ones, so that I've got kind of faith that it'll work. But as you can see, I've got the adhesive, and it sort of filled in the cracks. It's lined it with white. I'm going to let that set, like I said, for 4 hours. And then we will see if we can apply the paint and make it look good again. Okay, it's been 4 hours. I think I might actually do a little more glue. There's a bit of a gap in here and a little bit in here. So I think I'm going to add some more glue and see if I can get that to set up. Okay, so I'm going to go with this pattern. I really can't tell the difference between the other two. And you really can't even pick them up on camera, I don't think. But this one is fairly close. So what I need to do is set this side down and see where it says this side up, yay! And then I need to put the paint on, just a little bit in that spot, and then set this on top, heat this up, and sort of rub it in that area. And then I'll work over onto this side and try this one as well. This one has done pretty well. This one, I don't know if I can maybe disguise it a little bit. I don't think it's going to go away because it is raised up still. But again, at least the tear hopefully won't get any bigger, and we can hide it a little bit. So I don't think that one's going to be perfect, but I think we might have some hope with this one. All right, let's get my little my little thing out. Again, this is black, so I don't really need to do anything too crazy with it. Don't have to mix colors or anything like that. Get the excess off. I think I've got way too much on there. Problem is the temperature really dropped right now, and this paint might be a little too cold. But let's give it a try. And get back with you. This is actually shinier than that. Let's see how this one looks. Yeah, I think this might be a failed experiment. Probably a good product to use. I just am not using it correctly, maybe. I don't know. But it doesn't help that the dash itself is a bit faded. So maybe if I were to paint this, it would blend in a little bit like I did with the console. I don't know. But, oh well, it was worth a try. Like I said, at least I've got glue now in within these cracks, and hopefully they don't get any worse. Actually wiped off a little bit of the excess paint. Doesn't look quite so bad. So yeah, like I said, at least I've got some glue in there, and I think maybe I will try to paint this whole thing, but we'll see. Okay, in a previous video, I sort of tried to use markers to make these a little nicer, and one of the things I really could not do was touch up the sort of silvery part that's on the dash. So I'm going to try, I'm going to try a little bit of this Rust-Oleum Bright Coat Metallic Finish. Let's see if it's as shiny as the cap says it will be. But again, I'm not trying to make it perfect. Not going to be showroom quality, but I just have to get rid of as much of this black as I can. So I've taped it off, and I'm going to see what it does. You know, because you really can't use a marker on the big pieces like that. Gonna use the super nicest, softest SOS pads just to rough it up a little bit, and then I need to degrease it, see what that does. And it's so cold my tape is not sticking. Okay, guys, just try just a little bit at a time, see if I can build it up. All right, not going to try to do it all in one coat. Let that set for a bit and see how it turns out. Okay, there's our second coat. Alright, got a little blow by on this, so I'm going to have to clean that up. Okay, I can certainly live with that. Again, it's not concourse quality, but there were just so many black spots through there that it just, where the silver had just worn out, that I think now overall it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Got a little bit of paint up in here behind the wood grain, but I think I can probably take that out with some thinner. But overall, pretty happy with how it looks. Better than it was before with all the black showing through. So yeah, I have decided I'm going to go ahead and try to paint this. Again, these are my little spots that I tried to fix and did not fix very well, so it's not going to look great. But I do need to degrease this right now and see if I can get it warmed up. It's like really cold in here. It's only like 40 degrees. But yeah, I'm going to see if the paint will at least help bring back a little bit of the shine like I did to the center console. All right, just need to scuff this one up as well. Going to apply the vinyl and fabric specialty coating. The trick with this stuff, at least I found with doing my console, very, very light coats. Don't try to do it all in one or two. Super light. You're going to have streaks. You're going to have whatever. But just try to get it to grab on. And then do another light coat, another light coat, another light coat. There's almost never any need for a heavy one. All right, very first light coat, let that set up for a while. Another light coat done. Again, you get the spots, you get the streaks. Don't panic. You can just sort of hit those areas on your third and fourth coats. Okay, there are 4 coats. I'm gonna let that dry and we'll see how it looks. Okay, it's had a chance to dry overnight. Looking fairly good. Yeah, I'm going to go up on close on this. It doesn't look great. But like I said, hopefully it won't get any deeper or longer cracks. I did have one here that I did work on, and that actually seemed to work fairly well. But, you know, I can live with this. It's better than trying to replace this, which is probably a couple $100. So that's going to do it. Time to get them back in the car. Like the video if you got anything out of it. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you can. And please let me know down in the comments, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? It's the first time I've ever tried to repair those tears in the dash. Luckily, my console was in great shape. But like I said, I'm happy that hopefully it doesn't get worse. It just doesn't look great. So maybe I'll take it off and try again in the future. So let me know down in the comments. I'd like that. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.